In a kingdom nestled amidst towering mountains and lush valleys, there reigned King Jacques, a ruler known for his valor in battle and his unwavering dedication to his people. But despite his prowess as a king, Jacques harbored a secret. He had fallen deeply in love with Princess Evelina, the daughter of a neighboring monarch. Princess Evelina was renowned for her beauty and grace, but her heart belonged solely to Jacques. Their love was forbidden, for the kingdoms of Jacques and Evelina had long been bitter rivals, locked in a ceaseless struggle for dominance. Despite the enmity between their kingdoms, Jacques and Evelina dared to meet in secret, their clandestine encounters fueling the flames of their forbidden passion. But their love was discovered, sending shockwaves through the royal courts and igniting the embers of long-standing animosity into a raging inferno. Fearing the consequences of their love, King Jacques and Princess Evelina made plans to flee their kingdoms and seek refuge in a distant land where they could be together in peace. But their escape was thwarted by the betrayal of a trusted advisor who revealed their plans to Evelina's father, King Horatio. As King Jacques and Princess Evelina's love deepened, they became increasingly desperate to find a way to be together without risking further conflict between their kingdoms. Knowing that their romance would never be accepted by their families or their subjects, they decided to flee their kingdoms in secret and start anew in a distant land where they could live in peace. They meticulously planned their escape, arranging for loyal allies to provide them with safe passage and support in their new life. But unbeknownst to them, a shadow lurked within the royal court, a trusted advisor who harbored his own ambitions and saw the opportunity to advance his own position by betraying the lovers. This advisor, driven by envy, greed, or perhaps a sense of duty to his own ruler, uncovered Jacques and Evelina's plans and swiftly alerted Princess Evelina's father, King Horatio. Horatio, blinded by rage and the desire to maintain his honor and authority, swiftly moved to intercept the fleeing couple, determined to quash their rebellion and punish them for their defiance. With their escape route compromised and their plans unraveling before their eyes, King Jacques and Princess Evelina found themselves trapped between their love for each other and the relentless machinations of fate. Despite their best efforts to evade capture, they were ultimately apprehended by Horatio's forces, their dreams of a life together shattered in an instant. The betrayal of their trusted advisor served as a bitter reminder of the treachery that often lurks beneath the surface of power and authority. It underscored the harsh reality that even the strongest bonds of love and loyalty can be broken by the insidious forces of jealousy and ambition. And in the end, it sealed the tragic fate of King Jacques and Princess Evelina, condemning them to a fate far more devastating than they could ever have imagined. Caught in the crossfire of their father's feud, Jacques and Evelina fought valiantly to protect their love and their people. But the cost of their forbidden romance was steep, as the once peaceful kingdoms descended into chaos and despair. In the end, their love was not enough to stem the tide of war, and tragedy befell the star-crossed lovers. King Jacques fell on the battlefield, his dying breath a whispered plea for forgiveness and peace. Princess Evelina, consumed by grief and guilt, took her own life, unable to bear the weight of the tragedy that had befallen their kingdoms. Their love story became a cautionary tale, a reminder of the devastating consequences of forbidden love and the folly of letting pride and prejudice dictate the course of history. And though the kingdoms of Jacques and Evelina eventually found peace, the scars of their tragic romance would forever haunt the annals of royal history.
As the war dragged on, King Jacques and Princess Evelina faced increasingly difficult decisions. They were forced to make sacrifices that tested the limits of their love and their commitment to each other. In the midst of battle, they witnessed the horrors of war firsthand, the cries of the wounded, the anguish of families torn apart, and the devastation wrought upon the land. Yet even in the face of such despair, they refused to abandon their principles or forsake their love. Together, they led their armies with unwavering resolve, devising strategies to outmaneuver their adversaries and minimize civilian casualties. They sought to end the conflict swiftly, knowing that every day the war continued, more lives would be lost, and more suffering would be inflicted upon their people. But as the fighting dragged on, the strain on their relationship became increasingly palpable. The weight of their responsibilities as rulers and the constant threat of betrayal from within their own ranks took its toll on their once idyllic romance. Amidst the chaos of battle, they found themselves questioning whether their love was worth the pain and suffering it had caused. They wondered if they could ever find happiness together in a world torn apart by war and betrayal. Amidst the chaos of battle, with the cacophony of clashing swords and the cries of the wounded echoing around them, King Jacques and Princess Evelina found themselves engulfed in a maelstrom of doubt and despair. As they surveyed the devastation wrought by the war, the once thriving cities reduced to smoldering ruins, the fields scorched and barren, and the countless lives lost in the name of their love, they couldn't help but question the very foundation of their relationship. They wondered if their love was worth the pain and suffering it had caused, not just to themselves but to their people as well. They agonized over whether their desire to be together had blinded them to the consequences of their actions, whether their love had been nothing more than a selfish indulgence in the face of the greater good. They questioned whether they could ever find happiness together in a world torn apart by war and betrayal, whether their love could withstand the trials and tribulations that lay ahead. They feared that the scars left by the conflict would forever mar their relationship, that the weight of their responsibilities as rulers would crush whatever fragile bond remained between them.
Final days of the Great War for Princess Evelina, King Jacques stood tall against the gathering storm. The battlefield stretched far and wide, a sea of clashing steel and desperate cries. His heart pounded with a mix of determination and sorrow, for he knew this might be his last stand. As the battle raged on, Jacques fought valiantly, each swing of his sword a testament to his love and loyalty. But the enemy forces were relentless, their numbers overwhelming. Despite his strength and skill, a shadow loomed over him. A towering figure clad in dark armor, the enemy's fiercest warrior. Their swords met in a deafening clash, sparks flying as metal ground against metal. He collapsed to his knees, the world around him fading into a blur. As he lay on the blood-soaked ground, a sense of peace washed over him. He had fought for love, for honor, for Princess Evelina. His vision dimmed, and in his final moments, he saw her face once more, smiling softly, her voice whispering words of gratitude and love. Feel free to comment, like, share, and subscribe.